Well, it's a high-pressure situation. These pit stops are. Every member of the team makes a difference.
And we'll see if Chad driver Jimmy Johnson can go get it back out there. Jimmy Johnson on the bottom of the racetrack couldn't hold the bottom, and now Kurt Busch pulls him again. We'll see if Johnson goes all the way down to the edge there, coming out of the corner to try to retake the lead.
These two cars have been very evenly matched through most of the race.
We're really seeing both grooves work. Actually, there's almost three grooves. You've got the bottom, the middle, and really up at the top. And here goes Mark Martin trying to take that spot back away from Casey Kane that he lost on the restart.
And you're also seeing on the left side of your screen that 17 car coming into the picture. Everyone in the garage thought he might be a factor today. I know the Roush Fenway guys have struggled the last 2 or 3 months, but he was the most consistent car. Talking about Matt Kenseth in the final practice session on Saturday.
Now you put that up with his pit crew doing a really good job. You saw they picked him up a spot on pit road on that last caution. And you have a good combination there. Looks like Matt has a really good car.
You see on the right side of your screen, the 2 and 48 cars are just so close. Jimmy Johnson not able to get by. Keeps working on him.
We see the 2 car running a higher line this time than what he was the last time. He'd been pretty much down close to the bottom for the first part of the run.
And now for the first time today, we're seeing Tony Stewart become a factor. It's the highest he's been all day. He's in 11th position and trying to move in on the top 10.
And Tony knows there's still over 200 laps to go as Jimmy Johnson does take the lead now from Kurt Busch.
Yeah, we heard Vince say.
New leader, 48.
We heard Vince say that Stewart was just kind of riding. He wasn't too worried. He was running about 21st or 20th spot there. Had a good car. Wasn't too worried about it.
With Jimmy Johnson taking the lead on the racetrack, he also takes the lead right now in the chase standings. Take a look. He is now 5 points ahead of Mark Martin. There they are, shuffling throughout the afternoon. Kurt Busch has gained a couple positions in the point standings, and so has the 39 car of Ryan Newman. We are less than 25 laps away from halfway. Back after this message and a word from our ABC stations. Lots of motorsports coming up. How about some NHRA action? 7 o'clock Eastern time. The Fall Nationals final from the O'Reilly Superstart batteries on ESPN2. NASCAR Now will wrap up the entire weekend of motorsports. A nationwide race on Saturday, won by Clint Boyer. And, of course, round 2 in the chase for the Sprint Cup. Next week, the NASCAR Nationwide Series at Kansas, 3 o'clock Eastern time. The live flag-to-flag coverage on ESPN2. And the NASCAR Sprint Cup Series at Kansas on ABC, 1 o'clock Eastern time, beginning with NASCAR Countdown. Jimmy Johnson showing the way here at Dover. He dominated back in the spring in May, led 298 laps thus far today. He has led 3 times for 57 laps. Kurt Busch has led the most laps today. He's led twice for 99. He is running in 2nd position. Jeff Gordon back in 3rd. Montoya 4th. Martin 5th. And Newman 6th. The top 6 cars are all chase drivers.
Let's look at the top 5 pit crews on pit road. The last stop under caution. Matt Kenseth with 13.1 leads them all off of there. You have to look quick.
We talked about how that 17 crew has always gotten it done on pit road. And I tell you what, as good as their pit stops are, Indy, and as good as that 17 cars running, he could be a factor.
They consistently have some of the fastest pit stops every day, every week. You know, the pit stops are so important now with the cars being so equal. And now the teams are actually so equal. You can see how the pit stop times were really close together.
Some plastic or debris there, DJ, on the left front there, right above the splitter on Jimmy Johnson's car.
Yeah, I'm not sure that's going to hinder. That's over towards the brake duct if it does anything.
It shouldn't hurt too much right there. That's one of those windshield tear-offs, a piece of one. It's caught that strut on the splitter.
You know, I do see more brake dust on the front tires as they change these tires on pit stops than what you used to see here at Dover. With these cars, they're having to use a little more brake.
Okay, let's look at these top 5 pit stop times. We can see it up on the screen. You can see Matt Kenseth was the fastest, and how competitive it is coming off pit road. Jeff Gordon with a 13.4. Those tenths of a second, so important down there.
Clint Boyer was in that group. Remember, Boyer had to go to the back of the field today because of an engine change, and he has driven that car from the back of the pack all the way into the top 10.
Debris on the nose, but I don't think it's going to be a problem.
Looks like Chad agrees with us, thinks it's not a problem.
Yeah, here's Clint Boyer. After coming from the back, they made a 2-tire pit stop early on in that first competition yellow, got themselves track position.
And key thing there is it kept him out of that crash.
Yeah.
Because he was behind a lot of those cars that got in that crash.
He is indeed our biggest mover. Clint Boyer, who won the nationwide race here yesterday. Dave.
DJ, I like the way you watch a race. Did you used to do this one time in your life?
Yeah.
Because after that red flag in the incident that Clint Boyer avoided because they gave him 2 tires, he radioed back to his crew, "Thank you for putting 2 tires on this car." He knew that that was a huge deal. And on that round of the pit stop, it took him from 28th racing position all the way up to 13th. And DJ, thanks for paying attention.
Bit of a struggle for the 83 car, guys. Brian Vickers back in 17th position. He just lost a spot a moment ago to Casey Mears in the 07.
Early on, Vickers looked like his car was pretty good. He got up on the high side and was being able to make some time, but that hasn't been the case over the last 2 runs.
Brian, who had so much consistency in terms of top 10 finishes to be able to get that car in the chase. 7 top 10s the last 10 races. And had a heck of a comeback in New Hampshire last week after losing 19 positions because of a lug nut issue on pit road. Able to come back and finish 11th. Here is our leader on the racetrack, and that is the 48 car of Jimmy Johnson. Right now he is tied in the point standings with the 5 car, his teammate Mark Martin. 5 laps away from halfway here at Dover. We are halfway home here in the NASCAR Sprint Cup Series presented by Burger King at Dover International Speedway. Jimmy Johnson is our leader, Kurt Busch in second, and Jeff Gordon is third, Montoya fourth, and Mark Martin back in the 5th position.
We see Sam Hornish, he's fighting hard to try to stay 1 lap down. Jimmy Johnson now able to get underneath.
He's been able to do this for a couple of laps, but he hadn't been able to clear Sam Hornish right here.
Let's take a look at the top 10 speeds as they come across the line here and right by the start finish line.
See, Kurt Busch was the fastest. Now Mark Martin, 5 car, showing up the fastest out of those cars. Casey Kane, 3rd quick.
There is the 10th place car of Greg Biffle.